Hey runners, it's Fraser. This is episode 1 of our stretch and stability series. Throughout the series, we're going to be working on improving your range of motion and also trying to strengthen and stabilize the body so that you feel more connected and secure when you're running. So let's get started with episode 1. So you're going to start on your backs, and then all we're going to do is just bring the left knee in towards the chest, take a hold of the left knee with the hands, and then just pull up towards your rib cage. So we're getting the knees to go over the rib cage here, and we're just going to hold here. And then what I want you to think about with your right leg is trying to reach forwards, like you're trying to reach for something with your right foot as you pull the left knee in. So we're just getting a nice compression in the hip flexors, which will give you a nice release through some of the primary hip flexors, the psoas. And we're just going to hold here. So nice and easy position. And just take some deep breaths, breathing into the diaphragm. So trying to expand the belly as you inhale through your nose. And just holding here. Really try and pull the knee right up. Good, let's go over to the other side. So extending or straightening the left leg. We're now going to pull the right knee up. So pulling the right knee over the rib cage and straightening and reaching with your left foot and your left leg. So reaching down, pulling the right knee in over the rib cage. Taking deep breaths, inhaling, expanding the diaphragm. Hopefully relieving tension through the hips. Really pull that knee in towards you. Good, and then you're just going to extend the legs, and we're just going to bring now the left knee in again. And now with your right hand, you're just going to pull the left knee across the body. Now as you do this, try not to lift off with the upper back. We want to keep the upper back grounded on the floor. So we're getting this nice rotation through the spine and into the glutes, into the outer glute. You're just using that right hand to pull the left knee across. Get it as close to the floor as possible and just holding here. So don't worry if you're not getting as deep as I am into the stretch. We want to try not to compensate. So try not to go further by lifting off with the back. We want to keep that upper back grounded on the floor, the shoulder grounded on the floor, the hand grounded on the floor, and driving that knee down towards the floor using the hand. And taking deep breaths in here. So we should feel like a nice twist through the spine, relieving tension through the spine and into the glutes. Good, let's go over to the other side. So we're just going to bring now the right knee in towards the chest. We're going to use the left hand to pull the right knee across the body, keeping my upper back grounded on the floor, keeping my right hand, my right shoulder, my upper back on the floor, holding in this position. And taking deep breaths, expanding the diaphragm, feeling that rotation through the spine, or that twist through the spine. Don't worry if you can't get the knee as far to the floor as I am, that's totally fine. You'll find that over time you'll be able to get that knee closer and closer to the floor. Good. Let's come back to center. We're now going to go to that first position where we're pulling the knee in towards the chest, but now we want to avoid the rib cage. So we're going to target a different area in the hips, and we're going to try to pull the knee towards, so left knee to left shoulder. So pulling the knee in towards the shoulder. So we're now avoiding the rib cage, so we don't want to go over the rib cage, and just pulling towards the shoulder here and holding here. And while you're in this position, try and think about maintaining a flat lower back. So the lower back is against the floor, and you're extending with your right leg, reaching forwards with the right foot, pulling that knee in towards your shoulder. And again, taking the deep breaths here. So whereas previously we'd be into here, we're now a little bit more over to the side to target a different area in the hips. Ten seconds. Really just try to relax here. Try and make it passive. So use the hands to pull the knee in. Try not to be too active with the hip. We want to just create the force with the hands to make it a passive stretch through the hips, pulling towards the shoulder, avoiding the rib cage. Let's go over to the other side. So taking the right knee and then just putting that right knee towards the right shoulder, avoiding the rib cage, keeping that left leg nice and straight and locked out. Taking the deep breaths, avoiding the rib cage. Keeping that back flat against the floor. Use the hands to create the force. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Going back again to our twist through the spine. So bringing the left knee in and then using the right hand to pull the knee across the body, keeping the upper back grounded on the floor, keeping the shoulder, all of the arm on the floor, and just bringing that knee as close to the floor as possible. And also make sure you're keeping the knee up and in towards the chest. So as much as you can, try and pull that knee up. So we're not down here. We want to try and keep a nice bend in the knee. Again, taking the deep breaths into the diaphragm, feeling that lovely twist through the spine. We'll do 10 more seconds here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go over to the other side. So we'll bring the right knee in towards the chest. We're using the left hand to pull the knee across the body, keeping the knee in towards the chest as we pull that knee down to the floor, keeping the shoulder on the floor, keeping the upper back on the floor, the hand on the floor. So not trying to create what I call fake range, which is where we lift off and we create this compensation. We want to try and be grounded into the floor. Breathing into the diaphragm. Pulling that knee towards the floor. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now just bring the arms out to the side to create a T shape. And these are going to feel lovely. We're going to bring the knees in towards the chest, and then we're just going to rotate side to side. Again, try and keep the arms, shoulders, upper back grounded to the floor as we rotate side to side. So I'm staying within a range that's comfortable for me so that I don't have to lift off with the upper body. Feeling that rotation through the spine. This will give you a nice release into the lower back. And trying to get the knees as close to the floor as possible without compensation. And we want to keep the knees close to each other as well. And we can also think about flexing the toes up, but that's not essential. Good, let's spend 10 more seconds doing this. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Okay, so with this one, we actually want to just bring the heels slightly closer than we would in a conventional glute bridge. So really walk the heels right up towards your glutes. Make sure your feet are straight, and then grip the toes into the floor, palms facing down into the floor. And we're just going to start by driving the hips up. Now in this position here, whilst keeping an activation through the glutes, we're going to go into a calf raise. So keeping the toes gripped into the floor, we're just going to elevate the heels, and we're just going to hold in this position here. Now you may want to, at this point, just walk the feet in a little bit further towards your glutes, and then keep the heels elevated. So what we're working on here is the connection between the feet, so gripping the toes into the floor, and then finding that connection into the calf, into the soleus. And we're just going to hold here, really trying to elevate the heel as high as possible, elevate the heels, and just holding. And really just try and feel that connection, trying to feel your calf muscle activate. And as you're in this position, try not to collapse with the spine. Try and keep the hips nice and high, glutes engaged, hips tucked in. And then from here, we're just going to go through a few reps. So you're just going to lower the heels down to the floor and then drive the heels up. For 1, 2, 3, 4, really try and lift up the heels. 5, keep the hips up. 6, and 2 more. 7, and last one, drive up, keep the hips up. 8. Good, and come down. Okay, so we focused on strengthening the back of the lower limb there. We're going to now focus on strengthening the front of the lower limb into the anterior tibialis. Being strong here is going to provide a lot of support to the knees, which is going to be crucial in your running. So legs extended out in front of you. And then very simply, what we're going to focus on is just flexing the toes back towards your shin. So we're just going to flex the toes back. We'll just start by holding here and make sure you're keeping the legs really straight here. So if you've got a bend in the knee, this isn't going to be as effective. So try and keep the legs nice and straight. And then you're flexing your toes towards your shins. And then from here, we're just going to point. And then we're just going to go for reps, flexing the toes up towards the shins. So that's 2. You may get a bit of clicking here like I am. 4, 5, 6, 7. See how far back you can flex your toes. So really try and pull right the way back towards your shins. 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to go to 20 so we get a full burn in the anterior tibialis. We really want to try and work this muscle, get it nice and strong so that we've got that stability when we're running. 17, 18, 19, and 20. Good. Hopefully you're feeling that along the front of the lower limb. We're now going to go back to our glute bridge with a calf raise. So if you come down onto your backs again, and then if you remember here, we're just walking the heels right up to the glutes. And then from here, we're just going to drive the hips up. Make sure your feet are nice and straight. We can walk the feet in just a touch more before we elevate the heels. And then holding in this position. And we're really trying to activate the calves here. So really grip the toes into the floor and drive the heels up. It's that connection through the big toe into the calf that's going to be super beneficial in your awareness of how to activate the lower limb. So really gripping into the floor, keeping the heels up. Also keeping the hips up, so try not to lose the tension in the glutes. Okay, and then going into reps, we're going to go for 10 reps. So drop the heels, but don't drop the hips. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, keep the hips up. 5, 6, keep the toes gripped into the floor. 7, 8, should be feeling this in the calf. 9, and last one, 10. Okay, we're going to go back to our seated tib raises. So have the legs extended out in front of you. Remember, we want to keep the legs nice and straight. Another thing to think about is make sure that the foot is coming back nice and straight as well. We don't want to be tilting out to the side or twisting the foot inwards. Okay, 20 reps again. So hands can be to the side to support you. Keep the legs straight, flexing up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Really pull the toes back. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Should be feeling this along the front of the lower limb. So just below the knee. 17, 18, 19. Last one, 20. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's do one more round. Back to your glute bridge. Onto your backs. Walk the heels right up towards your glutes. Drive the hips up. Walk the feet in a little bit further. Elevate the heels. And we'll go straight into our reps. So keeping the hips nice and high as you drop the heels down to the floor for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hips up, 7, 8, 9, and last one, 10. Good. Straight back into your tib raises. So in an upright position now, legs nice and straight, hands supporting you. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Should really be burning now. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Really flex back. 18, 19, and last one, 20. Wow. My lower limb is burning massively, and hopefully yours are too. So we're going into some core and stability work. For this, you're going to start on your backs, and you're just going to bring the knees in towards the chest. Now, what we're looking for initially is to try and have the lower back flat against the floor. So just bring the knees as close towards your chest as you need them to be to try and flatten the lower back against the floor. From here, you're going to extend your arms, and then we're just going to go for a contralateral movement where we extend the legs and the arms, and we want to go for an opposite foot, opposite hand motion. So I'm going to extend my left leg as I bring my right arm back, and I'm trying to reach forwards with the foot and reach back with the hand. I'm then going to come back into center, and I'm going to go again on the opposite side. So reaching the left hand back, extending the right foot forwards. While I do this, I'm trying to maintain a nice flat back against the floor. So as I extend the leg and as I bring the arm back, I'm trying to keep the back flat against the floor. So I'll just go for this motion. We'll go for 20 reps here. So we're on about 6 now. 7, 8, 9, 10. Really try and reach forward, reach back. 11, 12, 13, lower back flat against the floor. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Good, so we've worked a little bit of the contralateral movement. We're now just going to focus on getting an activation into the core. So in this position here, I want you to bring your knees in towards the chest, getting your lower back on the floor. You're going to bring your arms out to the side, and I just want you to roll the upper back off the floor and feel like you're reaching for your heels. We're really trying to keep the lower back flat against the floor, getting that activation into the core, and you can also focus on pointing the toes. We're going to hold this for 20 seconds. Trying to breathe into the diaphragm, try and expand the belly. Really feel like you're reaching forward with your hands to get that compression into the core, pointing the toes, and we're just going to hold here. Try and maintain the breath. So it's coming into this full posterior tilt with the pelvis that's going to get that true activation into the core. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Take a 10-second rest, and then we're going to go back to our dead bugs, working on that contralateral motion that's going to help us with our stability when we're running. Okay, let's go into it. So bring the knees in towards the chest, finding a nice flat lower back against the floor. Hands come up, and again, we're going for 20 reps. Now, an option here, if you want to make it harder, is going to be to roll the upper back off the floor, come more into that hollow body position as we then extend the arms back. So let's go for it. We can move a little bit fast now. 1, 2, 3, reach forward and reach back. 4, 5, so I'm now really pushing that lower back into the floor. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, keep the lower back on the floor. 16, 17, 18, 19, and last one, 20. Good. Take a 10-second rest, and we're going to go back to our hollow body position. For some of you, you can take this hollow body a little bit further and extend the legs out in front of you. Okay, so let's start with the knees in. Let's lift the upper back off the floor. Bring the arms out to the side and really feel like you're reaching down for your heels. That's going to create the compression in the core. Now, for some of you, you can extend the legs here and hold in this position. We're going to go for 20 seconds, holding here, trying to maintain the breath, breathing into the diaphragm. 10 seconds. if with your legs extended, still feel like you're reaching down for your heels. That's going to create the compression into the core, really pushing the lower back into the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Feet come down onto the floor and just take a little rest. Even in this resting position, we're trying to get that lower back onto the floor, finding that posterior tilt. It's what a lot of people miss out on when they're trying to work on their core. And when you're in this anterior pelvic tilt, you're not getting that true activation. So it's so important to tuck the pelvis under, get that lower back flat into the floor. Okay, we're going to move into some leg lifts just to strengthen into the hip flexors and also strengthen into the core. So there will be progressions for this. If you're new to this, you can have the hands behind you, and we're just going to lift off one leg at a time, so you're almost leaning back. If you want to take this a little bit further, you can lean forwards, have your hands out to the side, or even hands by your knees. So I'm just going to demonstrate the easiest progression. My hands are behind me. I want to be nice and upright, and then I'm just going to lift up one leg at a time. And I don't want to be dumping and kind of collapsing like this. I want to try to hold for about a second and then drop down. So let's go for 20 reps. So starting with the left leg. 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you lift, try not to lean further back. 5, 6. So you're trying to maintain an upright position. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Keep the chest up. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. We're going to do 5 with the feet together, holding for about 2 seconds on each rep. So some of you will need to lean back a little bit more on this one. So leaning back, fingers into the floor. 1, 2, down, up. 1, 2, down. 3, 4, and last one, 5. Good. Okay, take a rest. So come down onto your backs. Again, we can just walk the feet up, try and have the lower back flat against the floor. Take a few deep breaths into the diaphragm. We're going to do one more round. Now, as you go through this, don't worry if you're not lifting your feet up as high as I am, okay? It might take you some time doing this exercise to get to the level where you can really lift the feet up. Even just a small little lift with control is what we're looking for here. Okay, so let's go back into our leg lifts. So we've either got our hands to the side, by the knees if you're very advanced, and if you're new to this, have your hands behind you. Okay, so we're going for the individual lifts. So starting with the left foot, we want to hold for about 1 second on each. And even if you're just lifting to here, that's totally fine. Okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Really try and keep the legs straight. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Try and keep the control. 10. We'll go to 20. 11, 12, 13. Chest upright. 14, 15, 16. So we're really strengthening here into the hip flexors. 17, 18, 19, and 20. Good. Going to the double leg lifts, holding for about 2 seconds on each rep. Hands behind me. I'm going to lift up. 1, 2, down. 2, 3, 4. And last one. 5. And come down. Good. That concludes our section on core and stability. Okay, runners, that concludes our session for today. Hope to see you on the mat soon.